Hello all, welcome back to my channel. In the previous tutorial, we learned about loops, wherein we were iterating over the numbers that were assigned to a variable, say I, from 1 to 10, and we were using the print statement to print all these numbers one by one. And then we also used an if condition just to break that loop in between and come out of the for loop. But what if we want to execute the loop and just ensure that we don't print certain numbers? So it should skip certain numbers and print the other numbers. For that, we have an option of using a pass statement in Python and the so-called next statement in R, which almost have a similar purpose. So let's try to understand that using this code here. Let's say we are executing a for loop from where I is ranging from 1 to 15. And we want to print all these numbers that are not divisible by 3. And if I execute this, it will print all the numbers from 1 to 15. Now, to ensure that certain numbers that are divisible by 3 do not get printed, I can use this if condition here. So let me make some space here. If, and now whenever the value of I, when we divide it by 3, it does not give a remainder. So the remainder is 0. The way we do that in R is using the double percentage symbol here. If I percentage 3 equal to 0, what it means is whatever is the value of I, when that is divided by 3, if the remainder is 0, then we need to execute whatever is there inside this if condition. Say we don't want to print this, what we can say is just go to the next iteration. So the moment we say next, it would go back to the for loop. But if it is not equal to 0, then what do we want? If the number is not divisible by 3, then we want it to print. So outside the if, we use the else condition here, and inside the else condition, we just have to copy this particular print statement here. Let me remove some space here. All right. So now if I execute this for loop, what is happening here is it is printing all the numbers that are not divisible by 3. So you have 1, 2, then you have 4, 5. So 3 is missing, 6 is missing, 9, 12, and 15. All these numbers that are divisible by 3 are missing. So this is how we can continue executing the for loop, just skipping certain numbers in between which are following or which are meeting a certain condition or criteria. So using the next statement, we can skip that. So the same thing can be done in Python as well. So in the case of Python, we execute the for loop like we have already learned in our previous tutorials. For I in range 1 to 15, and then the colon, and here if we print I, everything gets printed right from 1. Whatever we put in the range for Python, the last number doesn't get executed. So that's why it has printed up to 14. But if you don't want numbers that are divisible by 3, we do something very similar that we have done in R here. All that we need to do is if I, instead of a double percentage that we used in R, we just have to use a single percentage. If I percentage 3 equal to 0, then what do we want to do? We want to go to the next iteration. So like we did in R using the next statement, in the case of Python, we use a pass statement. And then if this condition is not met, that is if the number is not divisible by 3, then what do we want to do? We want to print that number. So we use that else statement here, and we can bring the print statement right over here. All right. And now if I execute this, we have all the numbers getting displayed here except the numbers that are divisible by 3. So this is how we can use the pass statement in Python and the next statement in R to skip certain iterations. So in this tutorial, I just wanted to let you know that there is a provision for skipping certain iterations while running a loop. So now that you're aware of this, it will help you solve a few exercise problems that we'll be doing in the upcoming tutorials. I hope you got to learn something new. If you're liking my tutorial, please do subscribe to my channel. If you have any suggestions, feedback, or questions, please do post them in the comment section. See you in the next tutorial. Thank you very much.